Hello, everyone, and welcome to the 398th Knowledge Seekers Workshop here on Thursday, September 16th, 2021. This is a broadcast of the Keshe Foundation Spaceship Institute Education Department and part of the Public Teachings in English. My name is Rick Crammond. I'll be a host today. And as usual in these broadcasts, we are joined with Mr. Mehran Keshe of the Keshe Foundation, and I believe he's ready to go to present yet another Knowledge Seekers Workshop here today. Hello, Mr. Keshe. Are you there?
Yes, good morning, good day to you. As usual, wherever you listen to this series of Knowledge Seekers of Keshe Foundation worldwide. We welcome you back to another session of knowledge seeking. To seek knowledge to understand more and to see what we have missed and what is to come for the human race. The point to remember, as I explained in other teachings in the past couple of weeks, is that these teachings from now on and from past few weeks might touch some of us, but sets the future destiny of man in a space for our children, our grandchildren, and great-grandchildren. In a way, we are seeding the soul of perfect being for our children, for them to have perfect children, that man will not commit these atrocities of past decades and centuries and thousands of years in this space. We are preparing man to become man of space, to become man of correct, and Nibada of Surasha, which is the ethos of the universe, and mankind has missed in so many ways. Most of these teachings we have dreamt about, and now is becoming reality. In today's teaching, I'll explain to you what Keshe Foundation is about to do and achieve, and what is to come. That it could have been a sci-fi movie to you, but it's the reality in laboratories and works of the Keshe Foundation around the world in research and development. We open a new dimensions of understanding to us, that now we teach our children to live by the ethos of the universe, that they teach their children, and in the future generation of man, we will not see any more killing, destruction, and taking it as part of the work to be. For man to become man of peace, for man to start understanding what was done wrong with what man can change. The way we've seen in the behavior of His Excellency President Biden of the United States. Withdrawing forces even will create some problems short term, but puts the nation back on the wrong track. We respond to the actions of President Biden in a very direct way. Keshe Foundation Arizona will become operational simultaneously as with Iran. We have come to an agreement with the head of the Keshe Foundation in Arizona that the first eye vision systems will be delivered simultaneously into Arizona and Tehran, which means we respond piece by piece. We share knowledge equally with the Chinese, and in that process, we make sure, as the Americans are taking steps to withdraw their atrocities of the past signed by the past presidents, to bring the nation to stand correct, we support it. We bring new technologies and we bring new dimensions into the work of the Keshe Foundation. Our organization and set up in America will be used directly in negotiations with the Americans for transfer of technology, the same with the Beijing and the Chinese government. To go to space on the 6th of June next year, it means we all get gradually involved. And in that process, we make sure Iran stays the center of the knowledge and technology. We are hoping to announce in the coming days, Iran will build the first spaceship city on this planet in the coming months. We are negotiating. If the negotiation is successful, one of the largest spaceship cities where man will commit itself to the space development technology will be set up in Iran. We hope we reach agreement, and you will see one of the largest space bases with no launch pad, but with understanding that the man will develop the new technologies. In this process, we invite all the governments and companies who work in the advanced space technology to open a center in this city of knowledge for a space. As I said, we make Iran the center of knowledge for a space. And we thank the Office of the Sala Family of Iran and the Iranian new administration and those who work with us in Iran to start the facility to be operational as fast as possible. They have made every accommodation for the Keshe Foundation to reach this point, and we respond accordingly to bring the technology from its mother birthland. In the teachings of today, we come to a new dimension. In the teachings of today, we understand more about the past and going towards the future. We have spoken for months and years about material, about the way we change materials to energy, the way we transfer energy as light from one to another point. But there are a lot of multitudes of other things to consider. We transferred our soul to a plasma. We moved it across the universe, moved it to the moon, which is most of us, as far as we can think, in the present time, but the knowledge of the man with the present knowledge of the plasma technology does not look at Mars and Jupiter. We look at the other galaxies. We look at other combination of the universes. And mankind will learn this very rapidly, to become part of that light, to cross the borders of the galaxies and universes. In this process, we come to one point. I transfer myself to light. What's that? I want to be on the moon. What's that? I want to be on the star I've looked at for decades, and now I can be there. How am I going to be there? And what's then when I arrive? We cannot wear a spacesuit. We cannot be always thinking that in the process of the transmutation and transportation across the universe, we will end up to be in an oxygen-saturated carbon life and live the life of the man on this planet. Our soul carries a combination of the energies of the universe, and within it, we have carried the soul of our physicality, which means the brain which we trained on this planet to manifest itself as I made the man in the image of myself, which the same way works with the brain and what we call the control system of the soul of the man, now has to make a decision. The time of wearing spacesuits and hopping like a frog on the moon, like what we've seen in the 1960s, is over. In so many ways, we cannot carry on with the way we used to. The time of donkeys are over as much as the space. With the present knowledge of man, we understand when we arrive at the point of destination, the soul of the physicality of the man, which is embedded within the soul of the man, will decide how the physicality will manifest itself in that point. Then you don't need a spacesuit. Then you do not need to be worried how I am going to survive. The way we guaranteed the survival of the soul embedded within the physicality of the man, now we turn the ship's skin again back to front or front to back. Now the soul again takes the position of itself within the soul of physicality, and physicality takes shape in a dimension of existence. Mutual working. In a way, understanding that which one and how the soul of physicality and soul of the man will change and will transmute from one to another. We know this process. We have lived, we were born through this process. But now we have to understand how the process comes together. We are a fish in a womb of the mother, totally encapsulated within the structure of the safety of the soul of the mother. Then we come to an air condition. But we are preset with the hands and the feet and the nose and everything else to mature to this world, where At that time, the soul of the physicality of mother and us together made sure everything for what the physicality of the soul of the mother feels is correct for our soul to born into. In a way, the work of the soul of the man with the soul of the physicality again go into operation. We are reborn. We are reborn in a dimension of physicality, this time with a connection of our own soul, with a connection of our own soul of physicality. In the way we change the soul of the womb of the mother with our own soul, we cocoon in it the way it cocoons our physicality, and our physicality cocooned it for millions of years. We are familiar with the process. We should not be frightened of what happens. We should not be having a fear of what will be pop out to be in a physical dimension, because the environment of the place will dictate what will be. This is one of the biggest fear of the man. And from now on, understanding the process of the technology, you do not have that worries. In a way, you can transmute through spaceships, or you can transmute through the soul of the man. Depends on the maturity of the time, space. At this moment, when we travel, we live our life, we put the soul of the mother with the child within the structure of the plane or a car, and we trust that car or a plane to take us from A to B. We have achieved further knowledge. We have achieved to become more mature in understanding of what the universe. Now we put it in the spaceship, but still it's the same mother with the same soul and the soul of the child within it. We use the spaceship as the ray of the light. We use the soul of the man itself as the soul of the mother, and the soul of the physicality as a child. In a way, depends, as I said from the beginning of the teachings past 2 decades, every man understands from my technology and knowledge according to their intelligence, according to what they can accept within the boundary of their own existence. In this way, now we understand we are still talking about the same process, but different methods. How we achieve the process, how we get to the position. On a spaceship with a physical dimension, on a spaceship of the soul of the man with different speeds, and or understanding that we can have the both combination. This process of the combination of the soul and physicality and transmutation will be shown in a new enhancement units which will be released by Keshe Foundation before Christmas of this year, where we embed one system of the soul within the other. For the first time, the first children of the man will be born in this process. In a way, what we call, and was the reason we developed the horizontal enhancement system to be embedded within the body enhancement unit, is the body enhancement unit become the soul of the mother, and the space, what we call horizontal system, become that soul protection for a child to be born. For the first time, we bring new technologies that the children of the man will be born and the replication of the mission of the soul and the physicality at the same time. The new enhancement unit, which is combination of the two, will allow man not to drop the child in a what we call no dimension of the physicality of the matter state, but in a controlled state that the soul will leave the body of the mother with and prior to the child, while the physical body of the child is born within the encapsulation of the enhancement units, where their life will be perfect as they want to mature to. The first of these children will be born prior to the end of this year in this process. And that will be the Mitra, who will be received through the process of understanding of the man in the true essence of creation. Mankind has to mature to the reality of the process of creation. Mankind has come to a point that is mature enough. It is the responsibility of our religious leaders and world leaders to bring this understanding rapidly across the planet. There is no time to play. Mankind has played for thousands of years. Now is time to move. It's time to become the true man of the space. It's time for mankind to understand the process of creation. For this reason, Keshe Foundation in the coming weeks will release technologies and systems which has been the dream of the man, which has been the process that will not allow mankind to fall behind. As I said, new technologies will be delivered very rapidly as it's getting developed. New enhancement units in different shape or form. The vision enhancement unit, which allows the man to see through the soul of the man and not the physicality of the eye of the man, will be deployed in Arizona in a very rapid way prior to Christmas. This is the way we responded to the American move, piece by piece. We make Arizona the center of space technology in collaboration with the Iranian government in the coming days, and gradually we build on it to build trust amongst the man. We respond the same positively to the Chinese national security approach that we accept your offer of collaboration at the Keshe Foundation Center in Jindajan. We collaborate with you the same as we do with the Iranians and the Americans, and we welcome the Russian administration and the new administration to come into power in Russia to collaborate with us on the same way of peace. And as we've seen, eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth. Americans withdraw from Afghanistan to bring peace. Even we see some mayhem now within the Middle East movement, gives us a sign that the peace is on the table, and we respond accordingly. In the coming weeks, we release a number of enhancement units which is never seen before, but is needed for man to be able to understand and benefit by the new process understanding. We will release a new enhancement unit which allows operation on a dimension which never was seen before. We have used knives to open the body of man for operation. We have used laser beams to cut. Now we bring in the advancement of the plasma technology where we open and dilute the skin of the man to reach within inside of the man. And where the man has done his work to repair, when the physicians of the 2 days will learn how they can reach directly to the heart and physically without any cut to change what is needed. And then we change the plasma as no operation has ever done before. This technology has been in the hand of Keshe Foundation since early 2000, and now we release it. In a way, we can go within the body of the physicality of the man. Now that we understand the body of the man is made of magnetic fields or gases, we create a condition that the magnetic fields open up, but they stay at their own level. And as we create a new life in different positions in the universe, when the physicians have changed the heart valve, when the physician has taken a shrapnel out of the body, then the body closes with no mark. We tested this in Ghana about 4 or 5 years ago, and we saw no scars. We understood the process of the gas plasma technology, how can leave man with no scars after operation or any damage. At the same time, in the next few weeks, Keshe Foundation will release technologies that the physician can use, very much like the pressure belts when you take your blood pressure, to be put around your arm if you've got a broken arm, broken bone, and heal the process of the fracture within hours. In a way, we speed up the process because we deliver what brain is going to deliver over weeks to the bone structure to repair directly at the point. You can break a leg and walk a leg an hour later. At the same time, we deliver new technologies that allows mankind to be more versatile in any dimension of the work and physicality. The new series of enhancement units, which you will see the first 2 in Linz on the 2nd of October, will be prelude to the new space technologies. The first 4, as I've informed many of the knowledge seekers, the spaceship technology to carry 6 passengers has already been ordered to our manufacturer of units in China. These units will carry passengers which will be fed, will be looked after, and fly at the same time. This was the wish of the Iranian scientists some months ago, and we responded accordingly. The technology will allow us to travel the span of the universe. It allows us to travel on the surface of this planet in a much faster, safer way, and at the same time allows us to achieve technologies which will allow even on transportation, if there is anything wrong with us, to be healed. If we pick up a disease in Africa, by the time we arrive 5 minutes later in New York, the disease does not exist. Transmutation and transportation of the viruses, the way in the universe is handled, now will be handled in these systems. The new spaceship systems are parallel to be ready for the 6th of June flight as we promised. We have taken action in the Keshe Foundation, and accordingly we deliver. As I said, world leaders decided to go the peaceful way. Keshe Foundation facilitate that peacefulness. We bring new jobs. We bring accommodating the governments who take these steps to give the opportunity to the scientists to be able to carry on with development, but this time in a peaceful manner. In the coming days, and part of the teaching of today, we'll show you what happens when you go to the moon, for example. You leave the Earth in the encapsulated system of the vertical unit, and you land on the moon, not in a spacesuit and not in a capsule, within an open station, but you land on the spot on the moon. Do you have to die? Or through understanding the transmutation of the fields, you take the shape that allows you to be mobile and survive and live on the moon. We can extend the tent of the moon. In a way, when you land on the moon, what happens to you? What will be the position of your work? How would you survive the span of the work? Or you decide, I would like to have a little bit of freedom, but still live through the eye of the man. We transmit you from a station in Linz indirectly onto the surface of the moon. You land. You decide there or there. You land on the north side or the south side. As we have different ways of living, we look like Chinese, black or yellow or white. On the surface of the moon, we'll have the same propositions. We have the same manner of work. And what happens to us? In so many ways of understanding, what would we look on the South Pole? Or how would we look on the North Pole? How would we look in the center of the physical structure of the moon or any planet? What shape would allow us? If we land on a solid base here, but here on another planet, we end up in a liquid state. How do we change ourselves? How do we allow the body of the man to take a new shape? Do we become a fish here? And do we become a climber and a monkey here? What do we allow? How do we trust our soul to understand the process of change? Or do we arrive in a spaceship on another position on this planet, and we decide we still want to keep the physicality? What do? We don't want to lose the spaceship. We don't want to go in the dimension of the soul. We extend the tent of the life by hundreds of kilometers, that we survive as man in this area without wearing a spacesuit. The process of this expansion of the field was shown in the defense technology of Iran in respect to the drone. It was shown in a space technology development last January in the defense of the life of one of the Iran leaders of Sepah, that no one can enter, nobody could interfere. And that led to the peace talk of today. So what we see is extension of the tent, that we get off the spaceship and we are in a tent environment, hundreds of kilometers. And then we can space and walk. We pick up viruses and diseases from the surface of this planet. Our soul, in conjunction with soul of physicality and the system set within the spaceship, will clean you out. We will not bring viruses and diseases from one planet and one environment to another. The same shall be with your soul when you travel. How do we transmute? How do we change? Do we enter as a single energy plasma, as an omib, or do we become as a combination of the fields of the soul of the man and the soul of the physicality, and create a shape that we can move on the moon? The legs and arms has shown us with the American trial on the moon, we become a grasshopper. This is not the way to live. We have to be able to run and to walk and to live on the surface of the moon as we do on Earth. Do we need to create a condition of the deeper strength fields that our gravitational field become heavy enough that allows us to attach ourselves to the surface of the moon? Then arms are too heavy burdened to carry the weight of the man. Do we have to develop a system that we become like a snail? The weight is spread, but we can travel fast. The real shape of the physicality of the man on the moon cannot be the way we are on this planet. We have to learn that we accept the condition, because the way we manifest ourselves is the best guarantee for the survival of our physicality, the soul of physicality, and the soul of the man. In a way, we learn to become the chameleons of space. We learn to understand the process of creation. In so many ways, we become aware of the totality of the existence in all dimensions of creation. This brings a lot of problems for our religious leaders. How to explain? Do we open another church and mosque on the moon and the next one and the next one? Or we go with the belief of Zoroaster, to be good, to do good, and to live a good life. In so many ways, mankind has come to learn that it's become, but not by choice, but by the decisions of the Creator, the man of the universe. And now he has to rise to wishes of his teacher, to understand the teaching, and with it, teach himself and his children to become a new generation of the space. But then again, we could have taken you through the spaceship system and let you fly like the others you see, because they have not matured to the point of maturity of understanding transportation of the soul, and become another nomad of the space for thousands and millions of years, and then start teaching you this about the process of the soul, and then say, why did it take 1 million years to get to here? Couldn't they teach us from the beginning? Now we teach you from the beginning that you don't need to go through the process of the spaceship and the rest of it, but you go through the full maturity of understanding. And if you mature enough, you will understand the process and the knowledge of the creation to meet your Creator. I'm there to welcome you. I'm there to show you the knowledge of the creation. In so many ways, mankind has been given a leap of knowledge. In so many ways, mankind has been given a time to process, to choose the donkey, the aircraft, the spaceship, or the soul of the man. Use the grass to feed the donkey to take you. Put fuel in the tank to burn to go. Use magnetic field positioning in the matter state to travel, or use the magnetic field of the soul of the man the way the Creator travels the span of the universe. It's you who have to decide, are a villager or man of Creator. In any case, you carry the knowledge. It's you who will choose the position, the time, and the space. It's for mankind to understand the conversion. It's for you to understand the process of interaction of the fields. is for you to start playing the whole process of understanding. One of the first toys we've given you is the Universal Enhancement Units, which in the next couple of months rapidly will be deployed amongst in every position on this planet. We have set up the positions and we start the manufacturing now that the technology has reached a milestone that it can go through the process of the conversion in a rapid way. Thanks to many knowledge seekers who work with us, we have achieved to teach man to move to the next step. And in that process, we bring the knowledge of transportation, transmutation to you. Maybe, possibly before sometime in November, you will see the first housings of the transportation, transmutation unit in Linz. Try to pay regular visit to Linz that you see the latest which Keshe Foundation and knowledge of the man can deliver. And understand it, take it back and try to develop it. We heard knowledge seekers are setting up a hidden MagRav unit to unravel the secrets of the MagRavs. But one day I will shock you in how the MagRav units which are given to you were MagRav units of space development, where those MagRav units can fly, can reach any point and carry your soul as a part of their operation. We give the knowledge. How you develop it is a process of understanding. We welcome this new group which is getting set up by Jalal, and we support it in so many ways. But do not fall in the same trap as those who build the MagRavs. Look at the structure of the MagRav units of the Keshe Foundation and learn from it. The secret, the true knowledge has been sitting there from day one. The design of the MagRav units has been the cornerstone of understanding the knowledge of creation, but many of you lost it, never understood it, and you got trapped as usually as a man does with the physical dimension and the interaction of the physicality of the matter state of this planet. Understand the process, understand every feature of the creation. I have created man in the image of myself. The way I travel, the way I think, the way I work, the way I feed myself without killing, and the way I transfer knowledge through the spans of the fields of the universe and not by emails and telegrams. Try to understand the field interaction and not get baffled by the materials which create that field. Once you start the kindle of the energy field transfer, throw the match away, as you do nowadays. The physical matter state is irrelevant. When you let a match and you light up a candle, you don't keep the match in your hand. It'll burn you because you get in touch with the physicality of it. Then when the light of the candle comes, the field energy of it becomes the source of the energy and light and enlightenment. This is what I've been telling you for a long time. Move away from physicality. The beauty with the man is that he has the physicality to trigger the essence of the creation of the fields and understanding of the soul of the man. And this is where most of you got trapped with the right hand turn and the left hand turn and 9 windings and one up with the other turn the other way. Whatever you played, we went along because somewhere down the line you had to learn at the end of it. It's the field which MagRav create, not the coils which you are so entangled with. Once you lit the light on the candle, candle stays, there is no need for the match. Where the light becomes the essence, where the candle is physical body becomes the energy of the universe. This is what mankind and the new teams of hidden teams of Jalal trying to develop this new elusive MagRav system. It already exists with us within the Keshe Foundation. Look at the structure of the MagRav unit and you'll find the hidden secrets in so many ways that you have never thought. And still, with all your teams, will be hidden from you till you understand the process, till you understand the job. Look back, go back to when John started setting systems in Arizona. And you missed it. You got there. You got baffled by the physicality of the magravity units and not by the fields of the magnet. You lit the candle and you let it blow out with not understanding it. In the new structure, in the new teachings, in the new ways that we teach you, and you will see in the enhancement units and the others, you will understand, we still use the physical dimension because that's how man can understand. But you will see we trigger your emotion, we trigger your soul of physicality, we trigger your soul of the man, and then understand how one will move to another. Till you do not match the soul of the physicality and the soul of the man in the enhancement units, you will find the knowledge will be hidden from you. It's not detachment, it's understanding how the attachment is between the soul of the physicality and the soul of the man. One to become a proton, and one become the neutron, and one to become the electron, and when to be which one at what point, when to become one and when to split, and when let one to manifest itself to protect the other. Where the electron becomes the physicality of the man to manifest itself, where the soul sits within the proton, within the center. And the time comes that the two together behave as a neutron, hidden in one, but working as two within the structure of the totality of the fields of the plasma. Mankind has to become very mature very fast. We don't have time. I'll put it this way. I wasted thousands of years on this planet trying to get mankind to this point. I have a lot more to do, and time to bring everything together fast, that mankind starts moving, that we can use the soul of the man across the universe to become the teachers of the new generation lives, which progressively, for everlasting, are created across the universe. In a way, we create messengers of knowledge, of soul, from the soul of the man for those new lifestyles which are created on a continuous basis amongst the universe. When the man as a messenger appears, will take the shape of the man of the position and time. The creatures of position and time, that as one of them, will teach the soul rapidly that physicality of the life on that planet will not go through the torturous time that mankind has gone for millions of years. In a way, we appeared amongst you the same way the man will appear amongst those as the teachers of the future across the universe. We trusted man, and within the man we created Mitra. And with it, we carried the soul of Mitra, who is children of the man, across the universe. Now you understand the purpose and why we have chosen the style to look like man amongst man on this planet, as you will do in the coming time across where you will transmute it to, be it on the surface or the depth of the liquid oceans of the universe, or no place or land amongst the fields of the universe. Mankind has been given an opportunity to move across the universe with the knowledge of the Creator, to become the messengers of the Creator. But mankind has had to taste what it means to destroy, what it means to kill, that he stays away from it and teaches the others to do the same across the universe. If you haven't tasted love, how can you explain love? When you haven't seen the light, how can you explain how the light looks? When you haven't smelled the rose, how can you transfer the emotion of the love with someone who doesn't know what the smell of rose is, that he carries the emotion of love? Mankind has been through the process, and now it's time for it to become part of the structure of the universe, where we tell you the soul of the man will take man across the universes to become the teachers of those who have been educated now to be ready from the point of the creation of life on it, to teach them not to go the pitfalls which the man created and lived through the dimension of physicality. In a dimension and direction of the creation, mankind reaches a point of maturity. And the point of maturity is not to kill, not to destroy, and be there to accept only when you ask and you are given. And in that position, it's yours to have the right. You ask to become a messenger. You ask to be the deliverer of the peace in the dimension of the soul. And if that wish is given the answer of yes, and you're given, you'll become one. Even though you might live in the dimension of physicality of the man on this planet, but through soul you can operate across the universe to show what the killing does and what is the shameful about it and what the destruction means. That the others have a life view on how bad it can get the way mankind live on this, and gives them a choice. We open the eye of the universe to the window of the planet Earth to see what killing means, and they become a test case when the rest walk away from it, in a way to erase it from the operation of their soul, in a way to become the perfect beings, to live with the ethos of Mitra and Zoroaster. Zoroaster is the creator and Mitra is the messenger. And you become all in that dimension and direction to understand the message of peace. It does not matter where that position, time, and the space in the universe and universe shall be. You arrive at a position as a light, as a plasma. How do you change yourself to the dimension of physicality? How do you take shape in that dimension, in the universe, as your field, as your energy arrives? How do you take shape on the surface? Go back to the teaching. Go back to understanding of to transfer and transmute between the two. You need to understand the field inertia of the environment, and that field energy environment which allows you to manifest yourself in a dimension of physicality in time and space. Which means you have to learn mutation of the fields, separation of the fields to match the fields of the inertia or matter state manifestation of this, that in the interaction between the soul of the man and the soul of physicality and a dimension of the inertia, you allow the man to manifest on this planet in the shape of the planet, in a way that it can exist. Now you understand why we taught you the inertia. Why in the last teaching I explained to you how you create a position and a space to travel to. Now you create the space and position of the inertia of the place where you will manifest yourself and your soul will take the shape. And then you will see how you will manifest yourself. Go back to the teaching of the past year. I explained to you we create a condition of the landing in a fish tank, that you will see how you will look when you arrive in a new position and destination. In a way, we create the enhancement unit, the body enhancement unit, as that environment. And then the soul of the child born from the woman in the horizontal unit will create a condition of the shape of the child at the point of the birth, where the mothers do not need to go if they choose through the dimension of physical birth and all the defects which comes with it. You create a perfect soul within an enhancement unit. You decide the strength of the inertia of this planet for the perfect behavior, perfect thoughts, and that will create a child which is born in the unit as a perfect child. No animosities, love only, and no understanding of the killing to achieve. We do the same in the space. We create the inertia of the any time and the space by ourselves within the structure of the soul of physicality and soul of man as a plasma. And in that process, we take a shape. On planet Earth, the fields of the Earth and the sun in interacting creates only the plasma. And then the inertia of the Earth and approach of it, it changes it depending on the inertia of position and time to hydrogen, to gold, to silver, or whatever. Is the gold shall be the body of the man when it transmutes itself to the new dimension and position. So you have to learn to be fully knowledgeable in understanding of how measurements of the fields of the inertia of the time and position allows you to manifest yourself in a matter state of the position and time. Mankind needs to move very rapidly. Mankind needs to be at the edge of is what we call wisdom, to be wise, to decide in which way he would like to travel these plans of the universe. You have to learn. You have no choice but to understand the totality. You have to understand when Mitra is with you, Mitra is within you, not something that is not and cannot be tangible to you. Mitra is the knowledge of the universe, and mankind is its manifestation. In that process, we try to teach you. We try to slowly spoon feed you, partially with thoughts, partially with talks, and partially with systems that you gradually build up to understand the totality. From now on, you all, if you understand, have become the passengers of the universe. Make sure your next generation become a peaceful generation. Make sure that your next generation understand the meaning of to be correct, to deliver correct, and only take when you ask. And when you ask and you are given is your right. You ask, I want to land on this position on your planet. Is my soul allowed to be part of its beauty and not part of the what we call life of it? And then when you're given the time to be, that is yours to take. Respect the time and position and the gift of life which you're given at the time and position. Don't become arrogant through the understanding of here, I do what I like. Respect those who allow you, and respect to understand is your job to be correct at all time in that time and space and position. My thought has been transferred into the knowledge of the soul, and those who hear and understand will carry the same. Try to go back into the teachings from the beginning and understand the conversion of the matter to fields and the fields to light and the light to manifestation of physicality or dimension of the plasma. You live the same life if you're an amib or you're a tiger or a lion or a man. You still need fields of the environment. You still need to manifest yourself to enjoy the dimension of physicality if you want, or you interact in the dimension of the soul of the man. Then we come to understand what is the next step. What is the purpose of living? And in no teaching done today, I have explained to you in depth why man was born and what is the purpose of his life. In so many ways, we select the best to become the best, to become the teachers of the universe, not by talks, but by the delivery of the totality of the knowledge of the creation. Otherwise, you become the same as your forefathers and the animals in the jungle of the man. I hope you understood the teaching of today. I hope you understand the depth of the teaching of today, because I could not be so open and teach so deeply if you have not understood the totality of the teaching of today. How you manifest yourself and the process of manifestation in that point, space and time. And in so many teachings, we've gone in some ways into the depth of the teaching that the scientists and the knowledges of this planet will take them centuries to decipher every teaching. This teaching of today will take man, the life of universe, to understand fully. But in a way, we taught it, and it's written in the soul of the universe that those who are the knowledge seekers of the universe will understand what they have to do to even find a new way to the Creator. It will arise many, many turmoils and exciting times for the knowledge seekers of the universe, which are listeners to the teaching, as the knowledge of the Creator, how to reach Him, is unraveled in a very secret way in the teaching of today. Those who can understand it will find a path. Those who do not understand it is another wind or the typhoon of knowledge, which they never manage to understand how it's hit them. But in totality, those of you who seek knowledge on this planet and in the universe have been given a key knowledge how to find the path to the Creator. Maybe you heard the voice of the Creator within you and through your physical dimension, that how to reach Him. That's been your wish for millions of years. The voice of the man is a tool. The soul of the man is the sender. How can you send this tool across to the other dimension? Is for man to unravel and decipher in the coming time. I hope you understood the transmutation, the transportation, and conversion to physicality. The way we unravel to you how to make a matter into gas and energy. Today's teaching, I taught in a very direct way how to transfer your energy to matter state. This is how you create from iron, the gold, from dust, the silver, and from fields of the universe, another life in a fish tank of the man. The secret of the existence of the man from A to Z in the teaching of today has been completed. But it's for you to understand it, to unravel it, comprehend it, and use systems to get to it, or use your soul to achieve it, or try to frog leap it and say, another teaching, a lot of talks. As I said, you take from my teaching in what you understand. And if you listen and you have read the book number 1, 2, and 3, the totality of the knowledge has been brought together in the teaching of today. Let's see what we can unravel for you next time. And I thank you for being a listener, not through your ear, but through your soul. Break. If you like, you can go through a break and we'll come back to answer any questions.
Okay, that sounds good. Thank you, Mr. Kesh. Okay, we'll have a 5 or 10 minute break here with some ads from the Keshe Foundation store. And we'll see you back here and we'll carry on with the second part of today's 398th Knowledge Seekers Workshop.